I'm Robert Schiller, President of the American Economic Association. I'd like to welcome you all to this AEA panel on the impact of the Trump presidency on the economics profession. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our honored guest, President-elect Donald J. Trump. It's huge. Mr. Trump, it's nice to have you here to try to give you a chance to understand what it is that we do in our profession. We've assembled a panel to fill you in. I'd like to first call on Nancy Lutz, Economics Director for the National Science Foundation.
Mr. Trump, it's an honor meeting you. Our program on cutting-edge economic research. All proposals are peer-reviewed based on their intellectual merit and broader impact.
Does it make America great? From now on, the only criteria will be, does it make America great again? Change that.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. Next, I'd like to recognize Penny Goldberg, editor of the American Economic Review.
I thought it would be useful to help you understand our profession. We conduct research in economic modeling and data, write research papers, peer review these papers and publish them in journals such as the AR.
How long are these papers?
Usually about 40 to 50 pages.
Too long. Nobody has time to read that.
Well, usually all people read is introduction. It's about 5 pages.
Too long.
Well, each paper has an abstract, like an executive summary. It's 100 words.
Too long. From now on, the limit is 140 characters. If you can't tweet it, it's too complicated. From now on, all economic research must fit in a single tweet.
I next call on Henry Farber, President of the Society of Labor Economists.
As labor economists, our main goal is to study labor supply and labor demand.
I will keep jobs in America. Nobody is better than me at keeping jobs.
Actually, we also study international immigration, which is a natural response to economic forces.
Wrong. It's called climbing over the wall. Not anymore. We're pulling a huge wall. So if you're so smart, Farber, how do we keep carrier jobs from moving to Mexico?
Well, it's complicated. We need to...
Wrong. I could just get my Goomba from over the bridge in Jersey, Chris Christie, to make a deal that the carrier can't refuse.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. I call on Peter Phillips next, editor of Econometric Theory.
Hello, Mr. Trump. We do research in econometric methods, including, for example, maximum likelihood estimation.
Wrong. Call it huge likelihood estimate.
How about huge est likelihood? Okay? Econometricians are greatly concerned about statistical significance. For example, results that exceed the 1% critical level are called highly significant.
You mean bigly significant, right? Okay, explain more about huge estimation. Kind of like my poll prediction.
Okay, simply put, maximum likelihood selects model parameters which closely match the density to the data with respect to Cooper linear distance, trying to minimize the whole entropy of the system in a very simple way.
Okay, now explain it like I'm a 5-year-old.
Well, it's very, very simple. The maximum likelihood estimator achieves the Cramero-Rao lower bound, all that kind of thing.
Okay, now explain it like I'm a 2-year-old.
It's the most efficient estimator.
Does it win?
It wins!
Under Trump, we will win again.
Thank you, you, Mr. Phillips. I recognize next Drew Fudenberg, president of the Econometric Society. What does theory have to say?
We know all of the answers. What are the questions?
Thank you, Mr. Fudenberg. Next, I recognize Jim Turba, president of the NBER and leading scholar of public economics.
We're convening a special group to study the optimal tax rate.
Hold on. It's zero. Zero. Zip. Nada.
Do you mean a zero marginal tax rate? A zero tax rate on the top income bracket?
Just zero.
With a zero tax rate, wouldn't you expect the budget deficit?
Tax numbers don't have to add up anymore. I have my accountant working on it. My tax accountant. He's the best. He told me, Donald, you don't have to pay any taxes. It's huge.
Okay.
We also have a subcommittee on political economy trying to figure out exactly how all this happened. So far, we have nothing.
Thank you. Next is Robert Porter, past president of the Econometric Society, representing industrial organization.
We have a question, actually. In the post-truth world, are we still allowed to use data, or does data count as facts?
My tweets are sweet. All fact.
I'll look into that and get back to you. I call on Robert Stager, co-editor of the Journal of International Economics.
Well, we had assumed that global trade would be shutting down, but maybe it would be worthwhile to put some more research into trade wars and grim trigger strategies.
Wrong. I know how to pull off a trade war. I wrote The Art of the Deal, which is only $9 in paperback on Amazon, and it's frequently bought with my other bestseller, Think Big.
Thank you. There's growing concern that economic inequality is polarizing the United States. I'd like to call on Thomas Piketty, author of the bestseller book Capital in the 21st Century.
Oui. The capitalists are starving the middle class. The rate of return on capital is greater than growth in GDP. And that will cause wealth inequality to keep increasing. We need a progressive global tax on wealth.
Wrong. Trickle down works. It's going to make America great again.
But if R is bigger than G, it won't trickle down. It will just all stay at the top.
Well then, just say G is huge. You said the problem was R is bigger than G. Well then make G huge.
Bernie, come here.
We need a revolution. It's 1%. It's 1% of 1%. They control 99% of 99%.
Senator Sanders?
Like the French Revolution?
With a little less beheading.
But what would a revolution mean for our discipline?
You got 4 years to figure it out, Brainiac, or else, like I said on The Apprentice, you're fired. I know.